Hi, my name is Wendy Harrington. 12.5 years ago I contracted necrotizing fasciitis, more commonly known as the flesh-eating bug, following the birth of my third child. I lost my womb, ovaries and 2/3 of the flesh on my torso. As I lay there in that hospital bed looking at my mutilated body, I couldn't imagine ever feeling happy again. Yet I've been on an amazing journey and have learned many things, and now I'm happier than I've ever been, and I can't wait to share all the things I've learned with you. I'll never forget when I had first come round from being ill, the first time I really looked at my body, and as I lay in this hospital bed with this mutilated body feeling really, really dreadful, I remember feeling like I would never feel happy again. The idea of trying to come to terms with everything that had happened to me, it just seemed like this insurmountable challenge. And what's been really remarkable and incredible over the years is that I keep being shown that, it's inside, the joy and the happiness is inside, it's nothing outside. And I feel very blessed, and it feels like this is what I really want to share, with you. It feels like this is inside of all of us. It's not just inside of me, it's inside of all of us, and that's, where we need to focus, is to bring our focus inside instead of outside. And then it seems like it's so easy to be looking outside for things to make us happy, not realising that it's inside. And I mean everything in that, even down to, I remember, realising that for a long time I'd looked for a relationship. I'd looked for, that special person, the one that was going to make me feel happy and complete. And I remember a relationship had broken down, I was sad about it, and I just allowed my sadness. So I think one of the things I've really learned is to just really allow feelings, rather than getting stuck in thoughts, to really allow feelings. And in allowing my feelings, I suddenly had this incredible sensation, this incredible feeling from inside of love that just welled up. And it was like the feeling of being in love when you fall in love, yet there was no significant other. And it was at that moment I really realised that I've been looking all the time outside of myself for this thing, but actually it was inside of me. It's been a gradual progression of experiences since the near-death experience. And I remember after I'd first not long been out of hospital, I remember reading about someone's near-death experience which had all this detail about the afterlife and what was next, and I remember thinking, oh, mine was just kind of, it was this incredible piece, but I didn't have any information as such. But as time's gone on, I've continued to have these experiences in my normal, my normal state, not being close to death or anything like that. And I kind of feel a real groundedness with it, I suppose, that, for me it's about us as human beings becoming more loving, and that, we really need to master this bit and get good at that, apart from worrying about what comes next. So whether there's some sort of sense of peace and security that there is something after we die, or that we don't die, that's the way I look at it. I'm not this physical body. And yeah, I don't know, they seem to arise out of a place of peace. They seem to arise as I turn my focus in, and I get connected with myself, so with my feelings, with my thoughts, as I look at that, instead of having my focus on what I can see with my eyes, what's outside of me. When I first was in hospital, I couldn't imagine ever feeling happy again. And so one of the positive effects that's come is that I'm happier than I ever have been before. And just this incredible sense of peace and a falling away of my judgment of myself and other people. So more harmonious relationships. I feel like I see people better. I feel like I'm a more compassionate person. I feel a bit like, well, if I can manage to deal with that, then I guess I can manage to deal with most things in life. So a sense of resilience, I suppose, and strength. But mostly it is just, the best thing is this incredible love, just this overwhelming sense of love, which is absolutely beautiful. It feels like it's been an evolution of faith, I suppose, that something would happen and then I would deny that, and then I'd start to close again, but then something else would happen, and it's sort of gradually that the sense, the feeling, the way my mind is in that place has become as real as this material world. So it feels like a sort of a shifting, I suppose. One of the things I remember is it wasn't too long that I'd been out of hospital and I'd started to drive again. and it was after the writing, that first lot of writing had come, and I was on a bridge in the middle of Exeter, which I'd been on many, many times over the past 20 odd years, and all of a sudden I was aware that I could see green to all sides of me, and I'd never noticed it before, and it made me laugh to myself. I kind of felt like I'd been going around with these blinkers on and just missing so much of what was around me in every moment, just little things that can bring us joy in every moment. Yeah, I've spoken to other people who've had near-death experiences, and they seem to range in experience. So some people have like an out-of-body experience, so they're just aware that they can see their body. I don't know, say that they're in some medical emergency or something, and suddenly they find themselves looking down at themselves. I didn't actually have that. Other people seem to go off into other realms and bring back information. And I think for me it just really opened up the fact that there was much more to life than just this physical experience. I think I very much believed that before. So that this body, this physical body, this physical experience is not just it. There's much more than that. But I believe that each of us can experience that extension within our normal day-to-day lives. I think I would have just dismissed it if I hadn't had any other experiences. I think I would have chalked it up to some sort of something that happens in the brain. I've studied psychology and I've quite a lot of an analytical thought process. So I think I'd have just seen it as something that happened in that point in time. But the fact that these experiences, that this message of this greater love keeps coming to me, it doesn't actually seem that I can escape from it even if I wanted to, which sometimes I want to, because the idea of like hearing a voice in my head or things like that, with a scientific perspective, I think of that as some sort of schizophrenia or so within myself I have some resistance to it, yet it keeps coming. And what I love is that I know that I can see the same scenario in my life in two very different ways, depending on whether I feel like I'm looking at that from a sort of contracted point of view, or whether I'm looking at that from an expanded, loving point of view. So it definitely seems to me that there's much more to ourselves than we're aware of, and I feel like that's the thing for us to discover, and that's the thing for each of us to find within ourselves and then live that out.